2026 Minnesota DMV Air Brakes Class B Test 224 Questions and Complete Answers. Question 1. Which of the following types of vehicles is most prone to the crack-the-whip effect? Option A, an automobile. Option B, a 3-axle tractor. Option C, a bobtail tractor. Option D, a triple combination. The correct answer is option D, a triple combination. Explanation: double and triple combinations are the most vulnerable to turning over as a result of the crack-the-whip effect. Question 2. Why do large vehicles use air brakes? Option A, other brake systems squeak too loudly. Option B, air braking systems are very effective. Option C, air brakes are complicated. Option D, air is free. The correct answer is option B. Air braking systems are very effective. Explanation: air brakes are an effective and safe way of stopping large and heavy vehicles, as long as they are maintained and used properly. Question 3. When driving while pulling trailers, you should: Option A, make sudden turns with the steering wheel. Option B, avoid making sudden moves. Option C, push the accelerator to the floor when starting from a stop. The correct answer is option B, avoid making sudden moves. Explanation: you should always steer gently and smoothly while pulling a trailer. Making sudden steering moves could cause the trailer to tip over. Question 4. To prevent a rollover, cargo should be: Option A, placed near the front of a trailer. Option B, placed near the rear of a trailer. Option C, spread out on a trailer. Option D, loaded with most weight on the driver's side of a trailer. The correct answer is option C, spread out on a trailer. Explanation: to reduce the risk of rollover, the weight of cargo in a trailer should be centered and spread out as much as possible. The weight of the cargo should also be kept as low to the ground as possible. Question 5. Do not use the parking brake when parking if: Option A, the brakes are very hot. Option B, the brakes are very cold. Option C, there is snow on the ground. Option D, there is water on the ground. The correct answer is option A, the brakes are very hot. Explanation: a parking brake should not be used if the vehicle's brakes are very hot from use on a steep downgrade or if the brakes are very wet and temperatures are freezing. Using the parking brake when brakes are hot could cause damage to the brakes, and using the brakes when they are wet and freezing weather may cause the brakes to ice up, rendering the vehicle immobile. Question 6. Rollovers are most likely to happen when: Option A, drivers turn too fast. Option B, driver turn too slowly. Option C, it is windy. Option D, it is raining. The correct answer is option A, drivers turn too fast. Explanation: rollovers happen when an operator turns too fast. Drivers should be sure to slow down before entering turns and curves, especially when transporting a fully loaded rig. Question 7. When a combination vehicle goes around a corner: Option A, the vehicle must use at least 2 lanes. Option B, the front and rear wheels will move in different paths. Option C, it is best to allow the rear wheels to drive over the curb. The correct answer is option B. The front and rear wheels will move in different paths. Explanation: when a vehicle goes around a corner, the rear wheels follow a different path than the front wheels. This is called off-tracking. This effect is especially pronounced on vehicles with trailers. Question 8. When starting a vehicle with dual air brakes, pressure of blank should be built up in the system before it is driven. Option A, 10 psi. Option B, 25 psi. Option C, 100 psi. Option D, 200 psi. The correct answer is option C, 100 psi. Explanation: before driving a vehicle with a dual air brake system, allow time for the air compressor to build up pressure of at least 100 psi in both the primary and secondary systems. Question 9. Trailers built before 1975 are: Option A, required to have spring brakes. Option B, not required to have spring brakes. Option C, unsafe to drive. Option D, prohibited from public roadways. The correct answer is option B, not required to have spring brakes. Explanation: trailers built before 1975 are not required to have spring brakes. When parking a trailer without spring brakes, be sure to use wheel chocks to prevent the trailer from rolling. Question 10. Emergency brakes are: option A, not required on trucks. Option B, only required on trailers. Option C, required on tractors. Option D, only required when transporting hazardous materials. The correct answer is option C, required on tractors. Explanation: all trucks, tractors, and buses must be equipped with emergency brakes and parking brakes. Question 11. In a vehicle with dual parking control valves, once air pressure is lost and the spring brakes come on. Option A, you will be unable to move the vehicle. Option B, a separate air tank can be used to release the spring brakes for a short period of time. Option C, you can use the spring brakes to continue driving normally. Option D, the air tanks will automatically refill to a safe air pressure level. The correct answer is option B. A separate air tank can be used to release the spring brakes for a short period of time. Explanation: in a vehicle with dual parking control valves, there is a separate air tank that can be used to temporarily release the spring brakes if they have been activated due to low air pressure. Pushing in the proper control will release the spring brakes for a short period of time, allowing the driver to move the vehicle in an emergency. Question 12. When glad hands are coupled, the seals should be pressed together at a blank angle. Option A, 50 degree. Option B, 180 degree. Option C, 90 degree. The correct answer is option C, 90 degree. Explanation: when coupling, be sure to couple the proper glad hands. When glad hands are connected, the seals should be pressed together at a 90-degree angle. Question 13. A shutoff valve. Option A is located on the front of a trailer. Option B is located on the instrument panel. Option C prevents air from escaping an air brake system. Option D should always be open. The correct answer is option C, prevents air from escaping an air brake system. Explanation: shutoff valves are used in air supply lines to control the passage of air from one trailer to another. The rear shutoff valve should always be closed to prevent air from leaving the braking system. Question 14. When driving a combination rig, following distance should be: option A, decreased in poor weather. Option B, shorter than when driving a single vehicle. Option C, about the same as when driving a single vehicle. Option D, longer than when driving a single vehicle. The correct answer is option D, longer than when driving a single vehicle. Explanation: in comparison to driving a single vehicle, you should maintain an extended following distance when driving a combination rig. Combinations require longer stopping distances than smaller vehicles. Question 15. Before a vehicle with dual air brakes is driven, pressure of at least blank should be built up in both braking systems. Option A, 10 psi. Option B, 25 psi. Option C, 50 psi. Option D, 100 psi. The correct answer is option D, 100 psi. Explanation: before driving a vehicle with a dual air brake system, allow time for the air compressor to build up pressure of at least 100 psi in both the primary and secondary systems. Question 16. The most common type of foundation brake uses the: option A, S-cam drum brake. Option B, C-cam drum brake. Option C, G-cam disc brake. Option D, P-cam disc brake. The correct answer is option A, S-cam drum brake. Explanation: the most common type of foundation brake is an S-cam drum brake. Question 17. Brakes out of adjustment will: option A, work properly. Option B, cause some of the brakes to overwork and malfunction. Option C, allow better acceleration. The correct answer is option B, cause some of the brakes to overwork and malfunction. Explanation: Brakes out of adjustment will fade before those that are properly adjusted. Brake adjustment must be checked frequently to help prevent brake issues. Question 18. In a vehicle with dual parking control valves, a separate air tank can be used. Option A, to make the air brakes work more effectively. Option B, to temporarily release the spring brakes. Option C, to charge the brakes on the rear trailer. The correct answer is option B, to temporarily release the spring brakes. Explanation: in a vehicle with dual parking control valves, there is a separate air tank that can be used to temporarily release the spring brakes if they have been activated due to low air pressure. Pushing in the proper control will release the spring brakes for a short period of time, allowing the driver to move the vehicle in an emergency. Question 19. When connecting a converter dolly to a second or third trailer, the trailer height should be: Option A, slightly higher than the center of the fifth wheel. Option B, level with the center of the fifth wheel. Option C, slightly lower than the center of the fifth wheel. Option D, next to the center of the fifth wheel. The correct answer is option C, slightly lower than the center of the fifth wheel. Explanation: when connecting a converter dolly to a second or third trailer, the trailer height should be correct. It should be slightly lower than the center of the fifth wheel. Question 20. Air tanks usually hold enough compressed air. Option A, for one stop before needing to be refilled. Option B, for several stops before needing to be refilled. Option C, for a day's worth of braking. Option D, for an unlimited number of stops. The correct answer is option B, for several stops before needing to be refilled. Explanation: in an air braking system, the air storage tanks can usually hold enough compressed air for the brakes to be used several times. Question 21. During an applied leakage test, the maximum leakage rate for a double combination vehicle is: Option A, 10 psi in a minute. Option B, 8 psi in a minute. Option C, 6 psi in a minute. Option D, 4 psi in a minute. The correct answer is option D, 4 psi in a minute. Explanation: it is important to know the maximum air loss rate that is safe for your specific vehicle. A double combination vehicle should have a leakage rate no higher than 4 psi in a minute during an applied leakage test. Question 22. The air entering air storage tanks may contain: Option A, water and compressor oil. Option B, frost. Option C, gravel. Option D, antifreeze. The correct answer is option A, water and compressor oil. Explanation: the air that enters air storage tanks in an air brake system usually contains a certain amount of water and compressor oil. Because accumulations of these materials can damage the braking system, tanks are equipped with drains to allow their removal. Question 23. What does an air compressor do in an air brake system? Option A, it pumps air into the air storage tanks. Option B, it fills the tires. Option C, it moves air to the back of the truck. The correct answer is option A, it pumps air into the air storage tanks. Explanation: in an air brake system, the air compressor pumps air into the air storage tanks. The air compressor is controlled by the air compressor governor. Question 24. How should you test the low pressure warning signal? Option A, engage and disable the parking brake. Option B, rapidly press and release the brake pedal. Option C, open the rear shutoff valves. Option D, uncouple and recouple all glad hands. The correct answer is option B, rapidly press and release the brake pedal. Explanation: it is essential that your low pressure warning light functions properly. After allowing the system to charge, you can test the warning signal by rapidly applying and releasing the brake pedal. This will release air from the braking system and the warning signal should come on when pressure drops to a dangerous level.